Probably seen the billboards around town encouraging you to get a colonoscopy, but how do you know if you're a prime candidate to get one? Here to tell us what raises your risk for colon cancer is Dr. April Grundell, and welcome. Thank you for being here. And first of all, tell us our medical background with our family history. Why is that important when it comes to colon cancer?
It has a lot to do with kind of your risk of colon cancer. So we kind of focus on, anyone in your family that has a history of colon cancer, but also your personal history. So if you have a personal history of colon cancer, of course, especially if it's before age 60, you would be at higher risk. If you have any history of inflammatory bowel disease, such as Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, that can also increase your risk. If you've had a history of adenomatous polyps, depending on the size and the number, that can increase your risk. Type 2 diabetes is another risk for having higher risk of colon cancer, especially type 2, which is adult onset. And then certain populations like African Americans or Native Americans.
And if you have a brother or sister that has, say, Crohn's or colitis, then does that make you a candidate then?
It does increase your risk of having Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis yourself. And so if you are found to have them, then you would be an increased risk for colon cancer.
Doctor, what other lifestyle choices can increase the risk of colon cancer?
So the risk kind of what we do every day kind of that can increase your risk of colon cancer. Typically, if you have a very sedentary lifestyle, not very physically active, if you're obese or overweight, if you follow a diet that's low in fiber, if you smoke, that's been shown to increase your risk, and also alcohol consumption, usually greater than 2 to 4 drinks per day.
Now, who should get a colonoscopy?
Well, basically, anyone that's, once you reach the age of 50, average risk, you should contact your gastroenterologist to get a colonoscopy. Anybody that has a previous history of having polyps, you should follow the recommendations after your first colonoscopy, screening colonoscopy. Anyone that has a family history, of course, of colon cancer, and then the certain populations that we talked about. Usually we start African American and Native Americans at age 45 versus 50.
Okay, and the last thing you said, 53%, and can you tell me what that 53% is?
It's basically you can decrease your risk of colon cancer by 53% if you get screening colonoscopies. It's very preventable. It may be, one day of prepping for the colonoscopy. The procedure itself is pretty straightforward and easy to go through, but it can save your life.
Okay, well, again, thank you for being here. Very important news about colon cancer and colonoscopies. And now, Joy, I'm going to turn it back to you.